it is definitely time to go ahead and get started. Hey, welcome to AtTheTrack.live. My name is Coach James. I am the creator and lead instructor for All About Aerodynamics. What is All About Aerodynamics? Glad you asked. Even if you didn't ask, All About Aerodynamics is a science program where I use Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about physics, about aerodynamics, about Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion, about lift, about drag, about downforce, about kinetic energy, about potential energy, about a whole range of science and physics related topics. And once I have taught the students the science, once we have conducted experiments to drive home all those concepts, then, and only then, do I bring in about 400 different Hot Wheels cars, and the students take a look at those Hot Wheels cars, and they examine those Hot Wheels cars, and then they make a selection, and they choose a Hot Wheels car that they think would be fastest in a series of races based on everything that they have learned in the course about aerodynamics. And then, once they have selected their cars, they examine their cars, they take pictures of their cars, they enter information into a spreadsheet with regard to the car's weight and the year it was manufactured and the name and other information. Then we set up a 1/64 scale quarter-mile drag strip, and the students race the cars, and we have a little tournament, and they observe how their cars performed. Did their cars perform up to or below their expectations? And if they had the opportunity, would they make that same choice again? Or would they pick a different car based on what they observed? So at the end of the program, we've used the scientific method, we've learned about aerodynamics, physics, and a range of concepts, and students have fun with Hot Wheels cars, and they learn a lot in the process. What could be better? So, if you would like more information about All About Aerodynamics and how to bring our science program to your school, or your organization, or your special event, all you have to do is go to our website, aaAerodynamics.com, or you can just go follow us on Instagram, also AA Aerodynamics, and you will be able to find all of the information you need in the bio. You can send me a message if you want some more information, and that is All About Aerodynamics. But this isn't all about aerodynamics. This is All About Aerodynamics presents AtTheTrack.live. So what is AtTheTrack.live? AtTheTrack.live is where I introduce new cars into the fleet. And the fleet is the group of cars that I take to the schools so that students can have the cars to pick from. Now, while I take about 400 cars to the school for the students to choose from, in the All About Aerodynamics AtTheTrack.live fleet, we currently have 729 cars. Now, I don't need to take 729 cars to a school, but there are 729 cars in the fleet, and today there will be about 6 more because, like most Hot Wheels collectors and enthusiasts, every time I go to a store, I pick up cars, I go by the whatever aisle it is where they're selling the Hot Wheels, take a look, and if there's something new, something that I don't have, something that catches my eye, then I tend to pick it up. And I end up buying more cars than I have introduced into the fleet. So I have crates with hundreds of unopened Hot Wheels cars, and I want to introduce those into the fleet. But before they can be in the fleet, I have to take a picture of the car. I have to take a little short video clip for the online version of All About Aerodynamics. I have to enter the information into a spreadsheet and the year the car was manufactured, just some information to help me track the cars. And I also have to assign it a number because I have cases. Each car has a number, and that is how I am able to keep track of the cars and make sure that the cars that I take to a school for students to use, that I'm bringing back the same number of cars. It's kind of important. So, I will be introducing 6 new cars, and then we will have a little mini tournament to see which car is today's champion. And that car will then have the opportunity to take on our fastest in fleet car, which is the car that has been the champion for the past 10 weeks. And that is this car. It is the BlitzSpeeder. And the BlitzSpeeder has dominated the competition, and it has beaten out every car that it has faced. Our races, if you haven't seen before, our races are best 2 out of 3, and the BlitzSpeeder has only lost 1 race. It lost 1 race and then came back and ended up winning the next 2. So it lost the first one, came back, won the next 2, and for the next 9 weeks, it was just destroying every car that it faced. It has not lost a race yet, and I mean 1 race out of the 3, and it has not lost. And even cars that have done pretty well during the tournament, cars that looked fast, cars that in fact were fast, couldn't stand up to the BlitzSpeeder, and the BlitzSpeeder has just rolled right over and through and past those cars. And we will find out today if we have a car that can stand up to the BlitzSpeeder and give it an actual challenge. So let's go ahead and see what we've got today. So last week I went to the Arroyo, well, I don't know what the official name is. I just call it the Hot Wheels swap meet, and it's held, if you're in Southern California, it's held at Arroyo Seco Park in Pasadena. And there are always just dozens and dozens of vendors with tables full of Hot Wheels cars, especially if you're into the more premium cars, the exclusive cars, hard to find cars, older cars. This is the place to go on a regular and consistent basis, because there are just every type of Hot Wheels car that you could think of. Now me, because of what I do and how I race the cars, I'm not so much interested in the ultra premium cars or the super treasure hunts or the anything that has the real riders, the rubber wheels. It's no good, because there's too much friction and they don't roll well on the track. So those are out. I'm only looking for mainline cars, which are the basic Hot Wheels cars. But I am trying to find the ones from pretty much the mid to late 90s, kind of very early, right up to 2000. My son was born in 2001, and shortly after, a few years after he was born, he got into Hot Wheels, and so we would look at Hot Wheels cars when we went to the store, and then we got to a point where we would start to race the cars and have little tournaments. Basically a version of All About Aerodynamics, just less formal. And so I have cars from when I was a kid, from the 80s, some from the 70s, and then, in the 90s, I wasn't into Hot Wheels, collecting Hot Wheels, and then picking up in sort of the early 2000s with my son. Then we would pick up Hot Wheels cars off and on. And in the past several years, I definitely have more Hot Wheels cars because of all about aerodynamics in the program. So I've been much more dedicated to looking at and picking up new Hot Wheels cars. But more importantly, I'm trying to fill in that gap. So when I go to the swap meet, that's what I'm looking for. Cars from the 90s, very early 2000s that I just don't have. So I went to the swap meet. I picked up a bunch of cars. If you saw earlier this week on Instagram, I did a little video and went through and showed all of the cars that I picked up. I believe if you go to our reels, you can see, I think it's labeled Swap Meet Picks, and you can just sort of scan through and see all of the cars that were that I picked up. I didn't open the packages, so I just show them in the packages. As I introduce them today, then we'll crack them open, check the weight, and see how they perform actually on the track. So I pulled out 6, but of course this is At The Track Live. So what's the point of it being live? The point of it being live is that you have the opportunity to participate. If you go to AtTheTrack.live, you'll have 3 options. One is the YouTube link, one is the Twitch stream link, which you don't need because you're already here. But the third link says choose a car. If you select that option, you will be taken to this page. And on this page, you will have the opportunity to select a car. Because all of the cars in the fleet, minus the last 6, are here cataloged and numbered and ready to be selected. So you can scroll through, and if you see a car that you think, yeah, that car is going to be faster than the one of the cars that Coach James introduced, then all you have to do is find the car, click on it. If you think, let's see, if you think for some reason it's this 42 Willys MB Jeep, you can click on it. You can take a closer look. You can say, I think that car is going to be fast. I don't know why you would think that, but if you think this is the car, that's the one, that's the car you need to pick, then all you have to do is find the number, in this case 435, and you would drop that into the chat. I will go and pull that car, and then we will enter it into the tournament. It will be among the cars that compete to see if they can beat out the BlitzSpeeder to take the fastest in fleet title. We have, maybe you think it's this 52 Hudson Hornet, which is kind of a cool looking car. It wasn't very fast on the track, but hey, if you think it's this car, all you have to do, take the number, in this case 440, drop it into the chat. I'll pull the car, we'll race it, and we'll see what happens. If you maybe you want to think completely outside the box, and you realize that in order to beat the BlitzSpeeder, it's going to take a very special and unique car, and that special and unique car you think is the roller toaster, the toaster on wheels. And for whatever reason you think the roller toaster is the car that's going to take the title, all you have to do is take the number, in this case 450, drop it into the chat, and then we will see if you are correct. You might be, but I don't think so. So again, there are a range of cars. There are cars modeled after actual cars, a 98 Honda Prelude. There are cars modeled after supercars, 2016 Ford GT Racer. There are fantasy cars, character cars. Here we have the Little Mermaid Ariel car. Maybe that's the car that's going to win. Of course, we've got plenty of Lamborghinis in the fleet. This Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. We have trucks. We have just even more bizarre character cars. The Tricera truck. If you're into dinosaurs, this catches, see, cars like this, some of the students, especially the younger students, get that, they get caught in between trying to pick a car that is not based on, after they've learned all the science and we've discussed aerodynamics and the kind of things to look for that might suggest that a car would be fast on our track, then they have the choice to make between, do they pick a car based on everything they've learned, or do they pick a car that catches their eye because they like dinosaurs, or they like The Little Mermaid, or they like Black Panther, or they like Iron Man? Are they picking with their heads? Are they picking with their hearts? And speaking of the two Iron Man cars that we have here, we have the Iron Man, this one, and then right next to it, we have the other Iron Man car that we were calling, I think we called this one the Golden Dome Iron Man, just to be, distinguish between the two. But in one of our early episodes of At the Track Live, we did an Iron Man versus Iron Man showdown, and these two cars went up against each other because there were, as you can see, even though they're both labeled Iron Man cars, they are different, and so they both got to stay because it's not necessarily a duplicate car, and that was fine with me. And you can, if you are interested in seeing the results of that showdown or any others, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, and if you select the live tab, then you will have the option to see all of the past episodes, and I've added chapter markers in there so you can find what you're looking for as easily as possible. And yeah, if you just want to watch the races, you can skip right to the races. If you want to see the reviews of any particular car, you can do that, or you can watch the entire episode. It is up to you. But once again, if you want to select a car to participate in the races, all you have to do is go to AtTheTrack.live, select, choose a car. It will take you to this page, and on this page you will have a range of cars to choose from. And this one, this 1964 Lincoln Continental, I really like this car. I think there are two, actually no, there aren't two versions of this. The other version of this I have is a premium edition because it's based on the Matrix films, and it has the real rider wheels, so it couldn't go on the track, which made me happy when I found this version that just had the standard wheels, standard plastic wheels. And we've got plenty of Corvettes, and there's a range of cars. And if there's a car that you know, let's say you are already a Hot Wheels enthusiast, collector, etc., and there's a car that you know that you want to pick, but you aren't able to scroll through 700 cars and find it, you can just send me a message, and I will just send me the direct message, and I will let you know immediately if I have that particular car. And in a bunch of cases, if I don't have the car, I'll go on eBay, and if the price isn't outrageous, I'll pick up the car and we'll bring it in and add it to the fleet and test it out on the track. I also see right here, this is one of my favorite cars, this Torino Stalker, this particular version, the black with the orange, yellow, and white stripes. And I have another version of this, a gold Hot Ones version. This one is not that one. Not sure. I think it's possible they may both be in the fleet. The gold Hot Ones version and the standard version, but I would have to double check that. Here's another one, the inside story. I always bring this one up. In the back of this one, there is a little motorcycle or a go-kart. I forget which. There's something, when you look through the back window, there's something in the back of this little minivan type thing. But anyway, go to choose a car, select your car, take the number, drop it in the chat. I'll pull the car, and we will see if you are correct, if your pick can challenge our fastest in fleet champion car right there, the BlitzSpeeder. So we have the BlitzSpeeder awaiting a challenge, and let's see which cars are going to be in line to challenge the BlitzSpeeder. So we'll go right from the beginning. Let's see. We'll go with this one. This is the Whip Creamer 2. I don't know that I have the Whip Creamer 1, but hey, 2 is better than 1, I guess. We'll see. The Whip Creamer, picked this up. This is 2002, and so it's right in line with that range that I was talking about that I'm looking for when I go to the swap meet. Pick this one up, and let's crack it open, take a closer look. I always look at the back to see if there's any information about the car, and no, at this point in time, Hot Wheels was just doing a bunch of promotional things, so nothing on the back that we're going to use to learn more about the car, so let's crack it open. Okay, let me just go ahead and check the weight, because the BlitzSpeeder weighs in at 32.4 grams. So that's the BlitzSpeeder, and we'll see if the Whipped Creamer, what that weighs. 31.5. So it's coming in slightly lighter. And let's get it right up here on the turntable and take a look. The Whipped Creamer. This is what we've got here. Okay. And we can already see right now the aerodynamic profile, pretty good. Pretty good. Got this channel right down the middle as it comes around. Let me just get the video shot. There we go. We've got this channel right down the middle. There's nothing on the top part of the car to really obstruct the airflow. So this, I don't know how the air is going to, what will happen is it tails off the back end, but this car, this could be the one. I know I've said that before. If you've watched before, every week I'm trying to look at the car that I think may be the one that has a shot to take out the BlitzSpeeder, and in each instance I have been wrong. In some cases I've been able to pick the car that is going to win the day's tournament, but they haven't been able to beat the BlitzSpeeder, and we need to see how it performs on the track. And the back end of this car is pretty flat, so that's good because it means it can press up right against the launching block in our car launcher, and that is usually helpful to give cars a good solid push out of the starting blocks. So we've got the video. Now let me just shoot a picture here. And here. The Whipped Creamer 2. Let me get the lighting situation fixed. There we go. All right. That's a pretty good looking car. Zoom in a little bit more. And get this squared up. more. All right, the Whipped Creamer is the first car that is going to be entered into the fleet today to challenge, potentially, well, it will challenge for today's title, and we will see whether or not it can hold up to win and then take on the BlitzSpeeder. So we have the Whipped Creamer 2, which I think this car has a shot. It's lighter. It's lighter than the BlitzSpeeder. It's got a very impressive aerodynamic profile, and the back end is flat. I don't know what else. I mean, I know I picked up the car, so that's what I was looking at when I saw it, thinking this might be the car. This very well may be the car. All right, let's see. What else did I pick up? I picked up this 94 Bugatti EB110 SS. And I think I checked. I'm pretty sure I checked, but I'm going to double check the spreadsheet just to make sure that I don't have this car already. 90, 92, 95. I have nothing from 94. I do now. A 94 Bugatti EB110 SS. So I'm going to crack this open and we will take a look and see what this car is all about. It's from the Forza series, the video game. So I don't know if this is just some branding that they had to, Mattel and the video game manufacturer that they were involved in, or if this actually means there was some kind of physical difference with this car. Like, is this a premium car of some sort? I don't know. There were 5 cars in the in this particular series. There was a Porsche 911. There was a BMW Z4, Jaguar F-Type Project 7, and an Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione. Competizione? Competizione. 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 I don't know. Either way, I don't have that car. What I do have is this Bugatti EB110 SS. So I'm going to crack it open and take a look. Okay, this car is metal on plastic. The year is 2020. And let's see what the weight is. The weight is 38.7 grams. So it's on the heavier end of our racing spectrum. Usually the cars that do well are in the range, in that 32 to 36 gram range, which is typically where we're at. But let's see. We'll take a look at this Bugatti, and I am going to do this periodically. If the car, I want there to be some contrast when I take these pictures, so that when the students are looking for the online version of the program, they can actually see the profile of the car. And so I am going to drop in that background, which allows you to see the car a little bit better. And let me go ahead and take the still picture first. Adjust the lighting. Pump that up. Car is looking good. And let me turn it just a little. Kind of want them to also be able to see the back end a little bit, get a sense for it, because, as I mentioned, a flatter back end is very important to the car getting a good launch, and getting a good launch is key to performing well on the track. So let's got the picture. Start up the turntable. Oh, wrong way. Still the wrong way. There we go. And as it comes around, get this video and see this Bugatti. I think if it weren't for the weight, the weight is probably not going to help this car. And granted, the difference of a few grams here or there probably isn't going to make all of the difference, but when you're talking about challenging the BlitzSpeeder, and which is the fastest Hot Wheels car I've seen, I think everything has to be taken into consideration. So you don't want to be heavier. You don't want to have a worse aerodynamic profile. You don't want to have a back end that is rounded out. So on this, we can tell, so the back end, again, the back end is flat, which is great. Aerodynamically, I don't really have a problem with this car, but I think when we're getting to the point where every little detail may matter, that the fact that it is 6 grams heavier and then 7 grams heavier than the whipped creamer too, I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a tough call, but it's why we take the cars to the track, because you just never know until the cars hit the track how they're going to perform. So we now have the 94 Bugatti. We have the Whipped Creamer 2. And let's see what other cars I have from the Arroyo Seco Hot Wheels swap meet that happened last weekend. It happens twice a month. At the second, I think it's the second week of the month, it's on Saturday. And then the fourth week of the month, it's on Sunday. So if you can't make it out on, if Saturdays are bad for you, you're busy watching college football, or you have something else to do, then you always have an opportunity to go on Sunday. And you can go early enough to, if you're a football fan, you have time to go there, pick up some Hot Wheels cars, and then go and watch your team play. Can't get this collar right, but it's not about the collar, it's about the cars. So, okay, this next car, this is one where I'm going to have to make a decision. And this is the 49 Drag Merc. And I picked this car up just because I like the look of the car. And I thought, yeah, let me see how it does on the track. There's some information on the back which says, celebrate the heritage of Hot Wheels with these classic and modern favorites. From vintage muscle cars to exotic sports cars, these are perfect for play and look great on display. Collect them all to build your own Hot Wheels showroom. And that doesn't tell me anything specifically about this car, but here it is, the 49 Drag Merc. Now, I wish I'd bought 2 of these, because I was at the table and I saw this one, and then there was another one that was the same car, just with a different paint scheme. I didn't pick it up. I just picked up this one. And I'll show you in a minute why I wish I would have picked up 2 of these. And the reason why it looks like a hole there is because there's a little price tag sticker that is green. And because of the green screen, poof, it disappears. So I'm going to crack this open. We're going to talk about it. And I may have to do something that I don't usually do with these cars. So let's see. Here we go. Crack this open. 49 Drag Merc. Okay. Now, this car, in terms of weight, let's take a look and see. It is coming in at 40 grams. 40 grams. So this is a heavy car. And we are going to find out whether or not that is how that's going to play out on the track. But let me get this on the turntable so you can take a look. At the 49 Drag Merc. Now we'll get this video. So first of all, the car is pretty long, and that's not necessarily a problem. 732, the 49 Drag Merc. So as it comes around, we've had some of these bigger cars, but here's the problem. Look at that back end, that wheelie bar that's sticking out. And that wheelie bar is going to be a problem, because that is going to be the only point of contact that this car has with the launching block. And that's not going to make for a very solid or good launch. And it's just, I understand why it's there, because if this is a drag car, drag cars have wheelie bars, dragsters, but it's just, I don't think it's going to be helpful to this car, which has already got some challenges because of the size and the weight. Oh brother, we're back to this. Okay, so the phone has once again overheated, and therefore we are not going to be able, well, I just have to wait a few minutes for it to cool down. And once it does, then I am going to take the picture of the Drag Mercury, and we will see. But so one of the things is, so with this wheelie bar, it's just this plastic piece, and what I'm considering doing is just cutting this off, because it's just not going to be helpful. And it doesn't mean that, well, first of all, I don't modify the cars. I just, however they are is however they are. I don't make any modifications at all. I don't add graphite to the wheels. You see some people doing that with usually with gravity track cars, but I don't add graphite to the wheels. The only time I've made modifications to cars is when they're too wide and they don't fit into the launcher, because there's some plastic piece that's sticking off, and so I've had to cut those off. But in this case, I really think I am going to just cut off this plastic wheelie bar in the back, and that will be that. So let me the phone has to cool down. I am going to grab some pair of cutters, and then I will I'll grab those cutters. And matter of fact, let's just check one other thing while we're waiting. I'm going to shoot over to the track view, because this car, I want to make sure, because it's got there's pipes coming off the side, and I want to make sure I don't have to cut those off. So I'm going to cut over to the track view. I'll go over there, check to see if this even fits in the launcher, because if it doesn't fit in the launcher, then I don't need to make any modifications, because it can't stay in the fleet. So I'm going to switch over to the track view. We'll check to see if this fits in the launcher. If it does, then it'll be time to make this modification. If it doesn't, we'll come back, but either way, the camera should be cooled off enough so that I can get the picture I need of the car, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna switch over to the track view. Okay, so we've got the track view here. I just want to make sure that this car fits into the launch channel and I don't have to make any other modifications to it. So it fits in, but those pipes on the side are rubbing up against the edge of the launch channel. So I don't even know that the wheelie bar is necessarily the problem. I think I am going to have to probably cut those pipes off. So, all right, I'm going to head back into the garage, and we'll see what we're going to do with this car, with this 49 Drag Merc. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. So yeah, it wasn't, I mean, the wheelie bar is a problem, but more so is that right here, you can see how they just stick out just a little bit from the right here. And so when it goes into the launch channel, these pipes are rubbing right up against the walls of the launch channel. So what I'll probably end up doing is cutting these off, and that is the same thing. The only modification I've ever made to a car, that's been the modification, has been cutting those off so that it can actually roll down the track. Do I think that cutting these off will make this car that much faster? No. But it will allow it to stay in the fleet and race down the track. So I'll just have to remember to pick up another one of these in the event that I just want, because this is a good looking car and I do like it. And so I kind of hate to make modifications to it, but if that means that modification is the only way that it will be able to race on the track, then that's what's got to happen. But I probably, when I go back to the swap meet, I'll probably look for another one of these that I can keep in the original condition. Now, I don't keep cars in the packaging, but I do like to keep them in the original condition. So, I guess the question is what to do with this one. I can enter it into the fleet, but it probably won't race today because I'm going to need to take the Dremel and just cut these side pipes off, and once I do that, then I can go ahead and race it. And I could do it now, but I want to be a little more careful so that I don't damage the paint and the body of the car. So this one, let's see, has the camera cooled off? The phone cooled off enough to be able to take a picture. We will find out. Let's see. We get a picture of this one, the 49 Drag Merc. Spin it around right there. And I think what's going to happen, I updated the software on the phone. I got rid of just about all the applications. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just completely wiping the phone since I only use it for the camera anyway, and seeing if that makes enough of a difference to stop this overheating issue, which I don't have with I haven't had, fortunately, with any of the other phones that I use as webcams. But you know, I guess there's a first time for everything. So with this car, I'll actually remove this background. Get a good shot of that one. Yeah, and let's go here so you can take a look as well. And yeah, I like this car, but the modifications are going to have to happen. And I usually, again, I don't typically modify the cars, but in certain cases, if it means the difference between sitting on the shelf or being a part of the fleet, then the modifications have to happen. So we've got this one. We've got the Drag 49 Drag Merc that is not going to be able to participate in the races. So we are, let me just, since I am entering it into the spreadsheet, let's see, 2010 is the manufacturing year on that one. Okay, so we'll put it there. Yeah, it can casually observe the races. All right, what's up next? And there's still time. If you want to select a car, just go to AtTheTrack.live and select the choose a car option. It will take you to this page. On this page, you can scroll through and you can find hundreds and hundreds of Hot Wheels cars. Find the one that you think could be faster than the Bugatti, faster than the Whipped Creamer 2, faster than the BlitzSpeeder. If you can find one faster than the BlitzSpeeder, you've done something, because so far there haven't been any cars. Well, there's been one that beat it in that one race, but other than that, the BlitzSpeeder has just been dominant. So if you can find a car that is faster than the BlitzSpeeder, you will go down in All About Aerodynamics at the Track Live history for your brilliance in Hot Wheels drag race car selecting. And once you find the car that you want, all you have to do is just add the number to the chat. So if you think it's this Cunningham car, you can click on that, take a closer look, and then if that's the car that you want to pick, then you just take the number, in this case 507, you drop that into the chat. I will pick the car up and we will add it to the group and we will take it to the track. So the next car is, this is a whole, let's see, so far we have 3, 4, 5. This one I picked up, and it's a Matchbox car, and there aren't too many Matchbox cars in. I've had a couple the last, I think, 2 weeks. There have been Matchbox cars included, and we haven't had a Matchbox car that's really done all that well. But until about 2 weeks ago, there was a Bugatti Devo that was a Matchbox car that actually performed pretty well, and I believe it got to the finals, and before it was beaten, and then the other car ultimately lost to the BlitzSpeeder. But right now we have this is a McLaren 720S Spider. So it's a Matchbox. It's actually in a box. So let me break open the box and we can take a closer look. Wrapped in a little tissue paper. Okay, good looking little car here. Let's first let me check the weight. The weight is 32 grams, so it's right in that sweet spot. And let me get the car lined up. I think what I'll do is I'll just take the still photos now, and I will wait to take the video after. Let's see. All kinds of things happening here. My lights are running low on juice, but this is part of the flexibility of doing things live. You never exactly know what you're going to run into, so you have to kind of be quick on the fly. And AtTheTrack.live helps me be prepared for whatever may happen for my online classes. And when the students are there and we're trying to learn something and there's some kind of technical problem, something happens, hey, I've got to be ready to switch up, keep things going, keep things moving. So this is good practice. When you're live, you never know what's going to happen. But what we do know is we have right here, we have a Matchbox. What was it? A McLaren 720S Spider. And this may be the Matchbox car to finally break through and rack up some wins, but we will have to find out. But everything about it, sort of good aerodynamic profile, small car, lightweight, back end seems relatively flat, and I think of the cars today, it's at least so far, it's the smallest car. It's not the lightest, but it is the smallest. And so let me enter that information here. The McLaren 720S Spider. Okay. And yeah, I don't have any problem with this car. And if this car were to perform particularly well, I would not be surprised. So we've got this McLaren. Let me just check the year on this one. The year is 2020. All right. So we've got the McLaren. We have got the Drag Merc, which it's still not clear whether or not that's even going to be able to race. So the Drag Merc, we'll try it out maybe, but I don't know. Maybe we'll try it out. And let's see. What do we have next? Next up, this is one of those picks that has a story behind it. So I'm at the swap meet. I have a bag full of cars that I'm going to introduce into the fleet on the way out, and then something catches my eye. And it's one of those things that I pick up Hot Wheels cars based on what catches my eye. Sometimes there's just a cool factor. There's a nostalgia factor. This pick falls into the latter category of nostalgia factor because, like many people of my age, in the 80s, we watched a show called the A-Team. And if you're not familiar with the A-Team, then, man, you're missing out. But it's probably streaming somewhere on some service. Anyway, the A-Team. Long story short, this they would go around. They were these ex-military guys who, if you needed help and no one else could help you, and if you could find them, maybe you could hire the A-Team. So if you had a problem, something was going on, you needed some military commandos to help resolve your problem, you would hire these guys. If you could find them, you would hire the A-Team, and they would come in. Well, the A-Team drove around in a van, and it was a black van with a red stripe and a red spoiler up on the roof. And that was their vehicle. They'd slide the door open and dive in and make their escape and crash through things, and it was the vehicle. So in the 80s, all those TV shows had vehicles. The Dukes of Hazzard had the General Lee. Knight Rider had Kit. The A-Team had the A-Team van. There were shows with Magnum PI had the Ferrari. There were just shows that always had a signature car. If you go back to the 70s, Rockford had the tan Firebird. You had Starsky and Hutch had the Gran Torino with the red one with the white stripe. All these cars from all these series, the Batmobile, I guess that was 60s. Still, iconic cars. Anyway, the A-Team van. When I was a kid, I'm watching the A-Team. I wanted a Hot Wheels car so I could play, the A-Team. But Hot Wheels didn't make an A-Team van, and I didn't have an A-Team van. What I had was the regular Hot Wheels van, which let's see, was from 1977, but it was a van. The problem was the version of the van that I had was silver. I believe it was silver, and I still have it today. So I will show you. This is the van. This is the van that I had. This is the Hot Wheels van that I had. And as you can see, it is kind of scratched up. And it's got a grayish, blackish color. Well, the reason why that is because I wanted an A-Team van. I didn't have an A-Team van. What I did have was a black magic marker. So I took that black magic marker and I colored my gray silver Hot Wheels van, and I colored it black. And I did not do the best job, but I guess I did a good enough job because this is what I had. And I remember playing with this and pretending that this was the A-Team van coming to the rescue of someone in distress. So that's what I had. I had the A-Team van that I marked up, that I colored with a black magic marker, a felt pen, and I made sure that this was the A-Team van. I didn't do anything about the red stripe, but I had a black van. Then, a little while later, as the show grew in popularity, they actually made a van that was authorized and sold as the A-Team van. And it was made by a company called Ertl. And I think they had a few licenses, because I believe they made General Lee's from the Dukes of Hazzard. And the wheels were not as good as Hot Wheels wheels. It does not roll as well as Hot Wheels vehicles, but it had the red stripe. It had the red spoiler. This was the A-Team van, even though it said the A-Team under the red stripe, which the actual van in the TV show didn't have. But that's a minor point, because now I had my A-Team van. And I couldn't have been happier. And this particular van, it rolled across my living room floor and my bedroom floor and up and down the hallways of our house, rescuing individuals in distress, carrying the members of the A-Team wherever they needed to be. And that was what I had, the A-Team van from Ertl. And then, the other day, when I was leaving the Pasadena Arroyo Seco swap meet, the last table just before the parking lot, I glanced over, and what did I see? I'll tell you what I saw. I saw the official Hot Wheels A-Team van from 2011. And I had to stop and do a double take and say, okay, this is it. This is the A-Team van with the Hot Wheels wheels. This is what I wanted when I was a kid. This is what I was hoping would show up. I made my own version of this. Then I got the Ertl version of this. But this is it. This is the one right here. The A-Team van, 2011. I bought this. The guy wanted $10 for it. I think I bought some other cars, so he brought the price down. But there was no way I wasn't leaving with an A-Team van. So I picked this up. It is going to be cracked open. It is going to be entered into the fleet. It is not going to be fast. It is not going to win any races. But it's going to be the A-Team van, and it's going to be officially entered into the All About Aerodynamics at the Track Live fleet. And that is just how it's going to be. So let me crack this open and finally, after all these years, take a look at the A-Team van that I always wanted when I was a kid. So let me crack this open right now. And there's a little information on the back that says born in 1983, because I believe this is the actual name of the truck. It's a Vendetta. No, Van something. Vendetta sounds too much like Vendetta, but maybe that is what they named it. I don't know. All I know is it says right here, born in 1983 in Detroit, Michigan, USA, designer General Motors, owned and operated by master mechanic B.A. Baracus. This is the official mode of transportation for the A-Team. It is able to withstand accidents, gun battles, insane jumps, and being stripped apart on a regular basis, only to be put back together by B.A. for the next adventure. The A-Team van. Right here. All right, let's see how much this thing weighs, because it's got to be massive. It weighs in at 53.5 grams. 53.5 grams. That's not gonna win any races. Let me see, just by comparison. Wait, let me make sure, because there was a cord that was on the that was touching the scale at the time when I weighed it. Let's double check. Yeah, 53.8 grams. By comparison, the one that I had when I was a kid, the one that I colored with the marker, 69.6 grams. So by comparison, in contrast, the new official Hot Wheels A-Team van is significantly lighter. And then we'll check out the Ertl version. The Ertl version is 45.5 grams, but let's go ahead and take a look at the Hot Wheels version of the A-Team van right here. And I will switch over before this camera starts overheating again, so you can get this picture of the A-Team van right here. The A-Team van. Switch this over square, and I'm going to zoom in here. That looks good. For some contrast, let me throw in the silver backdrop, and there we go. Just to get a little more contrast. All right, there we go, the A-Team van, and push this back just a little. get the lights in there. All right. And there it is, the A-Team van. It is not going to win any races. Last place on the track. First place in my heart, the A-Team van. And this is going to be a situation where the A-Team van, the original, is going to take on the Ertl version from 1983. And we are going to have that matchup on the track in just a few moments. But we do have, I got so excited about the story and the car that I didn't enter the information into the spreadsheet. So let's continue to take a look at the A-Team van while I enter the information in. A-Team van. And I believe it said the year was 2011. So we will go with that. Let me double check. Oh, see, now the official name on the bottom of the thing is 8384 GMC Panel van. That's not as exciting as the A-Team van, but because we do need to be accurate for spreadsheet purposes, I will call this one the A-Team van slash, let's see, 2011 was the year. It is going to be the GMC 8384 GMC Panel van. How boring. 8384 GMC Panel van, aka the A-Team van. And I'll just put that in parentheses because this will not be in my fleet, not be known and called by any other name other than the A-Team van. All right, so we've got the A-Team van. We've got the whipped creamer. We've got the Bugatti. We've got the Drag Merc. And we've got the Matchbox McLaren Spider. One last car to be introduced before we hit the track. And this is another one that I picked it up, but I'm not sure about it. And the reason why I'm not sure about it is because it is so small. And let me go ahead and put it up here now. It is, I can't even, it's so small it's hard to even get lined up on the turntable. Okay, that's, I think that'll be okay. Let's see. There we go. Let's take a look at this one. This is the GoKart. And it is tiny. And I guess I need to put another car in for comparison's sake. So here is the BlitzSpeeder. So there's the BlitzSpeeder, and there is the GoKart. And you can see how tiny it is. And I picked it because I wanted to see if a car that small could stay on the track and if it could be fast. And it's all metal. The construction's all metal. And it's got those tiny little wheels in the front and sort of the standard Hot Wheels wheels in the back. But is that going to be enough? And so the reason I'm introducing this car last is because I'm not sure if it's going to be able to stay in the fleet. And also the reason why I didn't crack it open is because this was one of the cars I bought loose because I just wanted to see if it would be able to stay on the track. And if it can stay on the track, then what I'll do is I'll actually go online and order a new version of this, because with the loose, when I pick the cars up loose, you never know if the axles are really straight, if everything's, in the best working order, just because it's loose and it's been played with, which Hot Wheels are meant to be played with. So if this car can stay on the track, if it can complete the races, whether it's fast or not is irrelevant, but if it can stay on the track and complete the races, then I'll buy a new one and enter that one into the fleet as the representative of the go-kart. So I'm going to go ahead and take the picture of this one to enter into the spreadsheet. I just don't know at this point if it is going to actually make it. So we will find out together in just a few moments. So I get this lined up here. And the reason I want this car in the fleet and hope that it makes it down the track is because when we talk about the cars that do well on the track, when we talk about the cars that perform well and what to look for, especially with the heavier cars tend to slow down toward the back end of the track. Gravity gets a hold of them and they slow down, and that's it. But the lighter cars are kind of, there's a whole range with the lighter cars. The lighter cars, there's a point where you can be too light and the car will get so much force coming out of the launcher that it just flies into the air, flies off the track, crashes every single time. But I'm hoping in this case that this car has enough weight and it's low enough that it will stay on the track. And so students tend to go, some students, their thinking is they want to go to the extreme. They want to pick the absolute smallest, lightest car. And that doesn't always work out, but it's a choice that shows that they're thinking about the car that they are ultimately selecting. Let me get a better picture of this one. And so if they pick the smallest, lightest car, then they usually have a good rationale for that. And whether or not it ultimately proves to be a fast car, they're still going to make some observations about the car's performance. So that is this one, the GoKart. And I don't know that there's a year listed on this one. Perhaps there is. Yeah, 1997. And now one thing I'm not a fan is the tiny wheels on the front. I don't know that we've had a car with non-standard, like with wheels this small, do well on whether it's all four wheels or just two tiny wheels. But we will see, because we have got our cars for the day. We have the Whipped Creamer 2 with the extremely aerodynamic, streamlined look to it. We have and it's also lighter. It's lighter than the BlitzSpeeder, so that is something to also keep in mind. I'm just moving last week's car out of the way. So we have the Whipped Creamer 2, which is, I think that's probably the car that I'm going to go with in terms of which one I think has the chance to take the tournament today and also do well. Then we have the Bugatti EB110, the 94 Bugatti EB110 SS. I'm not going to remember all that, but the 94 Bugatti, pretty standard, okay car. Then we have the 49 Drag Merc, which I am definitely going to have to make some modifications and cut off these side pipes, because they are rubbing up against the launcher, and that is going to slow the car down. So that car may or may not, probably won't race today. But it will be entered into the fleet, so next week it will be heading down the track. Then we have the Matchbox, the McLaren 720S Spider. And I think that will be a car that, it might be our first Matchbox car that's actually going to take the Saturday tournament and challenge the BlitzSpeeder, challenge our fastest in fleet champion. And then there is the A-Team Van, which I don't expect to be fast, but I love it anyway, and it's hitting the track. And then we have this GoKart, which I don't know that it's going to be able to stay on the track. And yeah, we will see right now which car is going to take this. When we go to the track, this is what you will be seeing. You will be seeing a 3-camera view. The cars will start at the top of the left screen, our start line camera. I will give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, race. The cars will fire out of the launcher at the top of the screen. They will race towards the bottom of the screen. They will pass out of view of the bottom of the screen on the left, and you can pick them up at the top of the screen in the middle. They will come from top to bottom. After they pass out of the bottom of the screen in the middle, you can pick them up at the top of the screen on the right. Our finish line camera, the cars will come flying in from the top to the bottom, crossing the finish line. The winning car will be indicated with a solid red light. The losing car will be indicated with a flashing red light. So, solid red light, winning car, flashing red light, losing car. The races are best 2 out of 3, and the cars will switch lanes after each race. When they do, we will have a winner, the first car that takes 2 races, and if a car crashes, then that race is thrown out and the cars are set up again and we run the race again. If the same car crashes twice consecutively, then it is eliminated, because if the car crashes twice consecutively, it's an indication that there's probably a bigger problem, and it's not going to be solved by just starting the race time after time. So I'm thinking in particular about the oh, I apologize. I went through that whole scenario, I believe, and I have some buttons on the switcher, so I can go to this, which actually just shows the track setup, and then I can go which shows the live track setup. So hopefully you heard the instructions for the race and I didn't hit the wrong button, because when I switch to the track view, the actual live track view, then this microphone that I'm using cuts off, so you can't hear me. So I may have just been giving 2 minutes of explanation on race rules and setup that you couldn't hear. But I don't think that's the case. Maybe I did it right, maybe I did it wrong. Either way, we're about to hit the track in 30 seconds, have this tournament, find out which car is going to challenge the BlitzSpeeder for our fastest in fleet title. So I will see you over at the track in about 30 seconds. See ya. Okay, we've got everything set up. I just need to double check, as always, double check the audio, because there's always some kind of technical thing that has a possibility to go wrong, but nope. Audio looks good. We are ready to race. we have cars that are going to be attempting to take out the BlitzSpeeder, which is going to be no small task at all. We are going to start off with, let's go, let's see, got the Bugatti, whipped creamer, the van. Oh, I know what we're going to do. This is how we're going to start. Let me go get that the Ertl A-Team van. We're going to see if that Ertl A-Team van can beat the Hot Wheels version of the A-Team van. This is A-Team van versus A-Team van, the showdown. This has been years in the making, or maybe it hasn't been years in the making, but it's happening now. A-Team van versus A-Team van, and I am going to need my taller acrylic cover, certainly. This may be the only race that this Hot Wheels A-Team van ever has the opportunity to win. And even now, the Ertl version of the van is even too tall. It's too tall for my launcher. So let me see. I mean, there's an acrylic cover, so I'm gonna have to make a little modification. No problem. So we've got the Ertl version of the A-Team van in lane number 1. We have the Hot Wheels version in lane number 2. I tested the height out earlier just to make sure that the Ertl van was not going to strike any of our camera tripods. So it should be good all the way down, but we will see. So we've got the Ertl A-Team van versus the Hot Wheels A-Team van. Hot Wheels A-Team van is in lane 2. Ertl van is in lane 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. The Ertl van crashes. So we will restart that race. The Hot Wheels A-Team van, heavy as it is, made its way all the way to the end of the track, no problem. The Ertl van, which is lighter than the Hot Wheels version by about 10 grams, got almost halfway, got through the first third of the track, and then it crashed. But as per the rules, we will just simply reset and run it again. And the Ertl car, the wheels are not great. And I think that was one of the things that put Hot Wheels on the map, is that they had really good wheels. And cars prior to Hot Wheels, the wheels were not so good, so the cars weren't as fast. That was the whole thing. Hot Wheels are faster cars. But we are going to find out. We've got the two A-Team vans lined up again. We've got the Ertl van in lane 1. We've got the Hot Wheels A-Team van in lane 2. Race 1 restart. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Oh! The Ertl A-Team van said, wait a minute, you're not going to just disparage me, talk about how bad my wheels are, how old I am, how you weren't satisfied with me, and you wanted the Hot Wheels version. The Ertl van just took that race. And so the Ertl van is up 1-0. So we are going to switch lanes and see if the Hot Wheels version, which is heavier by about 10 grams or so, if the Hot Wheels version can beat it out. And if you happen to be wondering why I didn't also include the the Hot Wheels van that I colored with the magic marker, my fake A-Team van, my counterfeit A-Team van, my bootleg A-Team van, if you will. If you're wondering why I didn't include that, it is because I played with that thing a lot, and the wheels are all out of alignment. The axles are bent, the wheels are crooked, and it would not make it down the track. The wheels don't really even turn the way they're supposed to. So that is why that van didn't make it into this competition. But here we have the Ertl A-Team van and the Hot Wheels A-Team van. Hot Wheels A-Team van is in lane 1. Ertl A-Team van, which is up 1-0, is in lane 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Hot Wheels took it. We are going to a third indecisive race. A-Team van versus A-Team van. B.A. Baracus versus B.A. Baracus. Which car is going to claim the title of the fastest A-Team van? The 1983 Ertl version, authorized and licensed, or the 2011 version that was made by Mattel and Hot Wheels. So we are going to switch the lanes up one more time. We are going to have the Ertl version in lane number 1. Get this launching block straight. Ertl in lane 1. The heavier A-Team van in lane 2. And if I can get it lined up, stay put. All right, we are ready to go. Here we go. Race number 3. This is to see which of these can take the title. I'm just double checking because I knew these vans were going to race, so I had to make some modifications to make sure that they didn't bump into the tripods. So here we go. Ertl A-Team van, lane 1. Hot Wheels A-Team van, lane 2. Race 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Hot Wheels coming through. The Hot Wheels A-Team van takes the race and is going to be entered into the fleet as the A-Team van. The Ertl van, which I played with and loved as a kid and will continue to hold on to, did not beat out the Hot Wheels version, and so we have the Hot Wheels A-Team van stepping up, and it is going to be entered into the fleet. It is moving. Why, is it really moving ahead in the tournament? I guess so. Let's go ahead and see what's up with the Bugatti and the Matchbox McLaren Spider. This should be a good, solid, traditional, all about aerodynamics at the track live race. We've got two cars that both should do pretty well. Just sort of standard sports car profiles here. We'll put the McLaren in lane 1 and the Bugatti EB110 SS. The 94 Bugatti is in lane 2. So the McLaren lane 1, Bugatti lane 2. Here we go, race 1. Three, two, one, race. And the Bugatti took it. We haven't had a Matchbox car that has done particularly well on our track. Other than that Bugatti Devo, this Bugatti may just be fast. So I didn't see anything wrong with this McLaren, but that Bugatti definitely took that race with ease. So we're going to switch lanes and see if the McLaren can even things up. So now the McLaren is in lane 2. And the Bugatti is in lane number 1. Presuming I can get it lined up properly. There it goes. Okay, Bugatti lane 1 and the McLaren in lane 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And Bugatti crashes, so we will have to restart that race. The McLaren, it's interesting. The Matchbox cars, I guess because of the wheels, they have little ridges on the outside, and so it makes an interesting noise as it's going down the track. But the Bugatti crashed, so we are going to have to restart this race, and I don't see any particular reason why the Bugatti crashed, but sometimes it happens like that. Cars get a weird launch, and that is the outcome, is a crash. So the Bugatti's up 1 race to none, and let's get this McLaren in there. Okay, here we go. Race number 2, Bugatti in lane 1 and the McLaren in lane 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. It was close, but the Bugatti took it, and the Bugatti will be moving on. So the Bugatti will face the winner of one of our next races, and that race will be, let's see, definitely time to see this whipped creamer in action. So the whipped creamer, we'll put that up against the, we'll see if this go-kart can actually stay on the track. So it's going to be whipped creamer versus the go-kart, and can the go-kart stay on the track? That's my big question. It's not even can it be fast. I just need it to stay on the track so that I can include it in the fleet and have it as an option for students to pick, because I think them picking that car is showing that they are thinking in a particular way, and that's a good option for them to have. So the go-kart is lined up in lane 2. The whipped creamer, which this may be the car, is lined up in lane 1. So here we go. Whipped creamer 2, lane 1, and the go-kart in lane 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. The go-kart crossed the finish line ever so slowly. The whipped creamer, had crossed the finish line, had coffee and whipped cream and whatever before the go-kart even got halfway down the track. But the important part is that the go-kart actually finished the race, so that's good news. We'll see if it can repeat that performance, but at least the fact that it made it down the track means that it is capable of doing it. So what I will probably do is order a new go-kart, because this one, I can't be, the back wheels look like they may be a little bit out of alignment, but either way, a new, I don't mind spending my money on a car if I know it can perform on the track. So that will be the case here. All right, so you've got the whipped creamer lined up in lane 2. A car that seems particularly fast. It could be trouble for the BlitzSpeeder, but it's hard to tell how fast it is because it's challenging this GoKart, which is particularly slow. So the GoKart's in lane 1, whipped creamer 2's in lane 2. Race number 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Whoa. And it's great that the whipped creamer finished the race, bounced back, and came back, because the GoKart got stuck in the launcher. It never made it out of the gate. It just jammed up in the launcher, and it fell into this. There's a little channel that the launching block slides between in the launcher, so there's kind of a hole. But the cars all straddle the hole. The problem somehow is that the GoKart got tipped forward and just wedged in between the launching block and the edge of the launcher. So I don't know what happened, but we're going to restart that race. GoKart's in lane 1, and the whipped creamer 2 is in lane 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Okay, so the whipped creamer 2 took that. The GoKart had another weird thing coming out of the launching block. I think it's so small that I'm not sure what's happening when it's coming out of the launching block, but it's not coming out as cleanly as possible. However, since it is able to stay on the track, it is going to remain in the fleet, but it definitely lost that race and will be removed from competition. And once I order the new version, a new GoKart, then we will bring it back to the track, bring that one back to the track, and see if the outcome is any different. Let's see, the 49 Merc. I am not going to bother with that because it is not... well, you know what? Let's try this. I'm going to go 49 Merc versus the A-Team Van. And if the race is close and competitive, I'll do a part 2. And we'll do the second race. And we'll do the whole 2 out of 3. But if the race is not close, then we won't. So, we're going to go A-Team Van. I'm going to put the A-Team Van in lane number 2. I'm going to put the Merc, which actually, it may be okay to run. I was saying how I'd have to cut off the pipes, but maybe not. We'll see what happens here. Okay, here we go. 49 Merc versus the A-Team Van. A-Team Van's in lane 2. Merc is in lane 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Okay, so both cars decided to crash at the very first barrier. Yeah, that's what we got. So I'm gonna try this one more time because I don't know what that was. The A-Team Van and the Mercury. I'll have to go back and look at the video, but usually having both cars crash at startup is not a typical thing that happens. So we will go back again, set these cars up, and see if we can get a clean launch. All right, here we go. Race 1. A-Team Van is in lane 2. 49 Merc is in lane 1. Three, two, one, race. the A-Team Van looked insanely fast against that slow Merc, but you know, it is exactly what it is. This car just doesn't have, I don't even know if I'll even go back and bother with the modifications, because I'm not modifying for speed. I'm just modifying when I do, just modifying to make sure that the cars can stay on the track, and it did. So there really might not be as much of a problem, although I still think that it's getting some friction right at the beginning when it leaves the launcher. But that is, so see on this side, it's definitely not coming out clean. I'm gonna have to cut those things off and then actually see how it performs. So this is race number 2. We've got the A-Team Van in lane 1. We've got the 49 Merc in lane number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. That race was a little closer, and the A-Team Van still took it. So the A-Team Van is moving on, and it's moving on just as a feel-good story, not as any car that I believe is going to be able to beat out either the Bugatti or the Whip Kramer. So I suppose, in the interest of fairness and sticking to the rules, that we'll go Bugatti versus A-Team Van and see what happens. And if the A-Team Van, I think the A-Team Van's best hope for success is that the Bugatti somehow crashes multiple times and just gets eliminated, because outside of that, there's no chance that this A-Team Van is losing or is beating the Bugatti. It's just not gonna happen. And they say never. I'm saying never, because it's never gonna happen. But there is the chance. There is, if it wins, it can win on a technicality. But right now we've got the A-Team Van in lane 1. We've got the Bugatti in lane 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Okay, the Bugatti won that pretty handily, but I will say that the A-Team Van was closer in that race than I really expected it to be. I expected it to get completely blown out. So I don't know if that says more about the A-Team Van or about the Bugatti. The Bugatti, in my opinion, should have really dominated the A-Team Van. That was a win, and it was a clear win, but it wasn't dominant. It wasn't devastating, and that's the kind of performance you're going to need in order to beat the BlitzSpeeder, but we'll see. All right, we're going to switch lanes, put the A-Team Van in lane 2, got that all lined up, ready to go, and we've got the Bugatti in lane number 1. Oh, rolls out just a little bit. Okay, Bugatti in lane 1, A-Team Van lane 2. We are just about ready to go with race number 2. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The A-Team Van beat the Bugatti? See, this is, I went out on a limb. I didn't think I was going out on a limb. I said never. I said never could it happen. And then what happened? It just happened. So now we're going to a third and final race. The A-Team Van has the opportunity to end up in the finals to end up in the finals. Okay, this is wild. But this is why you have to race the cars, because you just never, ever know. You never know, and I should have known better when I said never, but now I'm saying you never know, and I'll stick with that. All right, A-Team Van is in lane 1. Bugatti is in lane 2. Is the A-Team Van really going to come back and take out the Bugatti? This heavy A-Team Van, I think, what did we say? It was 55 grams. But it said, don't underestimate me. This is the power of the A-Team. When you need help, when no one else can help, when you're, oh no, it's when you're in trouble and nobody else can help. And if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. Well, the A-Team has a shot to get to the finals with this win, if it can pull it out. A-Team Van's in lane 1. Bugatti, don't embarrass yourself. Bugatti's in lane 2. This is race number 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. And the Bugatti pulls out the win and saves some face. But the A-Team Van absolutely had a solid performance that was pretty much unexpected. And we are now going to be looking at a final matchup, which is kind of what I was thinking we were going to have to begin with. Well, actually, no. I thought that Matchbox, that McLaren might be in this mix, but nevertheless, I did expect the whipped creamer to be here. So we have the whipped creamer versus the Bugatti, and we will take this cover off here, take this off, and get these cars ready to go in our finals matchup. The whipped creamer looked fast, but how do we really know? Because it was facing the go-kart. So we're going to put the whipped creamer in lane 1. We will put the Bugatti in lane 2. And we will see which of these cars will be challenging the BlitzSpeeder for the title of fastest in fleet. Get this here. Come on. Oh, I see that the channel. So the whipped creamer has this channel right down the middle. Well, in the back there's a little turbine, and a little plastic turbine, and I think that as the air comes into the car, it actually spins this turbine, and that's the little gimmick on this car. But I don't know that it's inhibiting the speed to any degree, so here we go. The whipped creamer 2 is in lane 1. The Bugatti is in lane 2. This is our finals. Here we go, race number 1. Three, 2, 1, race. The whipped creamer takes the win, and I had to check the lights on the finish line because that was a pretty close race, and it looked like the Bugatti was going to take it, but some point at the back third of the track, the whipped creamer came through and took the race. So the whipped creamer's up 1-0. It looks pretty fast. Both these cars are looking good. It's just that after losing to the A-Team Van, I'm really questioning how fast this Bugatti is, and if the Bugatti's fast enough to keep up with the whipped creamer, and the whipped creamer isn't destroying it, and it just, I don't know. The whipped creamer is going to need to win by a more impressive margin if it's going to give me confidence that it's going to take out the BlitzSpeeder. But here we go. Cars have switched lanes. We've got the whipped creamer 2 in lane 2 and the Bugatti in lane 1. This is race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Okay, the whipped creamer 1 came all the way back to the start line, and that race right there, that car looked fast. And I know I've said it before, and I've been wrong. I think the BlitzSpeeder might have something to worry about this time. We will see, because our finals matchup is going to be the whipped creamer 2 versus, I'm sorry, not the finals matchup, because the champion for today is the whipped creamer 2. Now, we're racing for fastest in fleet, the fastest in fleet title. Are you going to be able to call yourself the champion? Can you take out the car that's been champion for 10 weeks, the BlitzSpeeder, the fastest car on the planet, without question? Can you take it out? Is this going to be the car that does it? The whipped creamer 2. The cars are lined up. We've got the BlitzSpeeder in lane 1. We've got the whipped creamer 2 in lane 2. And we are going to see exactly what happens. Here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Houston, we have a problem, because the whipped creamer destroyed the BlitzSpeeder. It was not close. It beat it by a couple of car lengths, and it won. I mean, coming out of the gate, it was out in front. So we are now in territory where the BlitzSpeeder has only found itself one other time. One time before, it lost the first race. But then it came back and it won 2 in a row. It's going to have to repeat that feat if it is going to keep its title. Is it going to have an 11th week as fastest in fleet champion? Or is it going down? It may very well be. This may very well be the last time you see the BlitzSpeeder as our fastest in fleet champion. The whipped creamer 2 is lighter. It is fast. And we are going to find out right now if we're going to have a brand new champion, or if the BlitzSpeeder is going to force a third and final race. So here we go. The BlitzSpeeder is in lane 2. The whipped creamer 2 is in lane 2. The whipped creamer 2 is up 1 race to nothing over the BlitzSpeeder. Here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Okay, and this time it was the BlitzSpeeder that took that race. The BlitzSpeeder was particularly dominant, and we are going to find out next up if the BlitzSpeeder can come back. Can it take 2 races in a row? It's done it before. Can it do it again? We are going to find out. The BlitzSpeeder is now in lane 1. Let's get it lined up. Lane 1. The whipped creamer, the Challenger, the fast Challenger, is in lane 2. It is lined up. This is it. We are going to find out if the BlitzSpeeder is going to continue to be our fastest in fleet champion for an just ridiculous 11th week, or is the whipped creamer going to be the car to claim the fastest in fleet title? Here we go. Race number 3. This is it. Three, 2, 1, race. The BlitzSpeeder does it again. After looking like it was about to lose its title. It's the same thing that happened at this point a couple of months ago, but the BlitzSpeeder pulled it out. I'm going to gather up these cars, head back into the garage, and we are going to take a look at today's races and at our champ. Okay, so the BlitzSpeeder absolutely got pushed. And we haven't seen that happen since the early race against the slide kick. That was during the Henry Stanislavski Open Challenge, and the BlitzSpeeder did the same thing. It lost the first race and then came back and won the next two. And I don't know, I'll have to go back and look at the video. I don't know if the BlitzSpeeder got a bad launch or what the case was, but that first race, it was beaten thoroughly. And so that is the same thing that happened months ago when it lost that race to the slide kick. I need to go back. It's either the slide kick or the side kick. Either way, it took one race, and it took it pretty convincingly. Come back, second race, just like in this one, the second race, the BlitzSpeeder took it pretty easily, pretty convincingly. And then we go to that third race, and the BlitzSpeeder got out to a lead and didn't look back. So maybe it just got a bad launch. I suppose that can happen. But at the end of today, the BlitzSpeeder is our champion. The Whipped Creamer 2 is absolutely a fast car, and under pretty much any other circumstances, I would think that car would be pretty much not unbeatable, but have a great shot at beating most cars in the fleet, but it could not beat the BlitzSpeeder. This is week number 11 that the BlitzSpeeder is our fastest in fleet champion. I do not know which car is going to beat it. You have the opportunity to select a car. You can go to AtTheTrack.live, select the choose a car option, go through all those cars, look through all 700. By the end of the weekend, there will be 735 cars listed. Go through, take a look at those. If you think that you see a car on there that you think is faster than the BlitzSpeeder, all you have to do is put the number that's associated with that car into the chat. I'll pull it when we get back here next Saturday. We'll enter it into the tournament and see if you are correct. But so far, the BlitzSpeeder is just too fast. It's just too fast, and it's too dominant. It got down today for some reason, somehow, but came back, won the next two races, and is still looking for challengers. I picked the Whipped Creamer up at the Hot Wheels swap meet, specifically because I thought it would do well on the track, and it did well on the track. There will be some more cars from the swap meet that I introduce next week. But for now, the BlitzSpeeder is the car. We also had a surprising performance from the A-Team van. That was totally unexpected, but a nice, pleasant surprise. And the Matchbox McLaren Spider just couldn't beat out the whipped creamer. Or no, it lost to the Bugatti. Whichever car it lost to, it lost. And there's not really... Oh, it lost to the Bugatti. And we still have yet to find a Matchbox car that can really be competitive on the track other than the Bugatti Divo from last week. And I don't know that there are any what the physical differences are between the cars. Or maybe it's just a matter of the matchups. I don't know, but the Matchbox cars just aren't as fast so far. Maybe there will be a Matchbox car that outperforms the Hot Wheels car. I don't know. Until we see that, it's just theory. What's not theory is that the BlitzSpeeder is absolutely the fastest car on the planet still for an 11th week in a row. And we will be back next week to see if I can find a car, if you can pick a car that is faster than the BlitzSpeeder. Maybe that will happen. Maybe it won't. I don't know. That's sort of the fun of At The Track Live and picking cars and racing Hot Wheels cars, because you just don't know. I never thought that A-Team van was going to beat that Bugatti. It did once. So, you never know. You just never know. Anyway, I am Coach James for At The Track Live and all about aerodynamics. And once again, if you want information about our science program, all about aerodynamics, all you have to do is go to our website, aaerodynamics.com, or follow us on Instagram, aaerodynamics, and all the information that you need is there, links in the bio, etc., etc. But I will be back here next week at the Track Live, and we will be no, I won't be here next weekend because I am going to Las Vegas to watch my Syracuse Orange take on the UNLV Rebels. And so, yeah, I won't be here next week. So it'll be 2 weeks, and be back in 2 weeks with more races, and it gives you a little more time to make your picks. But also check out, if you follow us on Instagram, I've been going on a little more frequently, going live there. Don't really have a schedule yet, but if you're just dying for more Hot Wheels racing At The Track Live action, then check us out on Instagram. I'll be going live on there. But we'll be back in 2 weeks with At The Track Live, and you'll have the opportunity to pick a car. We'll see if the BlitzSpeeder's reign can continue, and can't wait to find out. So, thank you for watching. I am Coach James for all about aerodynamics and At The Track Live. Until next time, I'll see you at the races.